Oscar, let's start with just an overview of the facility you've got here. You've got, like, I think 9 SMT lines. You've got quite a lot of automation, some manual process, some hybrid process. Talk me through the kind of scale and number of people in this facility.
Okay, so yes, so basically we have 10 SMT lines already installed, so we are in the process to install 2 additional for this year, so we are going to grow, I could say, this year. Very interesting. So, and the kind of project that we have is different kinds. So we have some projects that were very manual for some industrial projects, but we have some others that everything is totally automated, mainly because the quality requirements of the customer. So for us, I always start with the quality requirements, then we can see the volume that we have to produce to try to select if we are going to go for something automated or something really manual that sometimes even is a requirement from a customer. In total, more or less, we are talking about a facility where we are managing around 1.2K employees in the company. So where basically we are working in 4 shifts already. So we work from Monday to Sunday, 24 hours. This is the capacity that we have.
Yeah, 24/7, that's impressive. And you've been with the company a long time, almost from the building of these sites. You must have seen a huge change in the way the company operates, the level of automation, the kind of style of business that you're doing.
Yeah, basically I've been part of this team from the last 17 years of my life. So it has been very interesting how we have been growing, starting from something with old technology at the beginning, then growing the facility to have something in terms of cleanliness very nice, migrate to new technologies, now integrating new technologies of automation that basically at the beginning were not there, just normal SMT machines, etc. But now with the new integration that we are having, everybody is trying to looking for that. Go for that line of improvements in our facility, production, etc. So it has been very challenging. I'm very happy to be part of that kind of things.
Yeah, it's been an interesting process. And when you look at the volumes that are going through the factory, you're already back at, or last year you're already back at pre-COVID levels. Next year you're projecting more growth. So you're seeing more and more volume. Do you look for more automation so you can manage that increase in volume?
The reality is yes. So especially when we have, today one of the challenges has been for everybody to generate seniority on their operators. So basically maybe 10 years ago, it was easily to gain experience with operators, but today it's very challenging to keep people on it. So that's the reason. That's another reason why we are looking for additional automation processes, where basically the interaction of the operator is less. We can train the operator faster. It's not needed to spend a couple of 3-4 weeks to explain somebody how to do the process. So now with automation, it's very simple to explain in a couple of days. No more than 1 week, maybe we can have a good operator managing the line at the right speed that more or less is handled by the automation, not by the operator in his skills or something like that.
Yeah. And it's interesting. There seem to be 2 dynamics at play. Mexico seems to be doing well with the change in geopolitics and people perhaps decoupling some of their manufacturing from China in particular. But you also have that same talent shortage as everybody else. So automation gives you the ability to grow without necessarily having to grow your headcount. That's becoming increasingly important here in Mexico.
Yeah, it has been very interesting as well, because at the same time we are growing or generating a lot of technicians or engineers to handle that kind of automation. It has been very interesting how to find the resources, how to train them, because there is a big requirement of new people trained on the market. So it's part of the activity that IMI has been looking for. Personally, with my team, I always developing engineers, potential engineers, technicians that are they just finished the schooling, and we are trying to generate or create our next generation that will support these productions.
Yeah, and it's kind of the story of Mexico, isn't it? It's more and more upskilling as you go through generations of the manufacturing process. Looking specifically at your SMT lines, you were telling me earlier you've just requalified a group of your suppliers. One of those suppliers is Co-Young, who are here with us today. What's that process like, and how important is it to have partnerships rather than just supplier-vendor relationships?
Okay. In the last year, we have been trying to have something more consolidated in the global team. So basically, we are receiving input from different vendors of machines. So when we want to launch a new, selection of the coming brand that we are going to select for the future. So basically, we have small meetings, and we launch with different suppliers and a specific project like the one that we launched this year, that basically is a big project when we are going to require a couple of SMT lines. So we launched the same information to all of the potential suppliers. For sure, all of them are previously selected based on footprint in the region, technical capabilities, capacities, and the presence of technical support that is very important for us. So with that, based on that, and with the information that we are supplying, so they present to us the proposal with different configuration of line, different technologies, and okay, everything is basically analyzed at the same level, and we start to review technical aspect, pros, cons, and for sure the cost of the line, and potential improvements in the future, growing that we could have with that brand, and what is going to be the benefits to bring that brand to the facility. So,
And when you look at inspection, it's kind of an interesting element in the line. It's become the source of data. It's where most of the line data comes from, and that's not just to tell the line to stop or to go. It's to actually inform your process design and your process development and how you introduce jobs to the line. That collaboration with your inspection partner becomes huge, and also the ability to bring all that data together in terms of software. That's quite a big challenge.
Yes, for sure, it has been a challenge because as the most of the manufacturing plants, we have our own software to have traceability system. So with one of the main point of selection will be the communication software that we will have with this brand. EOI is one of the most important for sure, because basically we have all the results given by the machine, and we have to have the records in every single product that we manufacture.
And they're important partners to have, not just in terms of the machines they supply, but in terms of sharing your roadmap of how you're moving forward and making sure they can adapt to that. How much feedback do you get from the market from them, and how much do you give them in terms of this is kind of where we're going in the future, you need to come with?
It's part of the meetings that we are having. I mean, we have an industrial excellence team that is already basically traveling between plants. This team is part of the team that select the equipment. So we have a area of very frequently interaction with them to review if the selection has been done. Even any selection is approved by them, and they have basically the background in different regions of the when we have manufacturing facilities, and this is the way that we are doing it. So basically we have this central team that is helping us to take the decisions, to have something with global vision, where are the presence of the different brands or potential vendors for us.
And then you deploy that locally. Last question, you've got potential to grow here. There seems to be a real thirst for business coming into Mexico, particularly for the Americas, but globally. What do you see as the key milestones as you go forward over the next year, and what are the kind of challenges that you face? Is it just talent, or are there other issues?
Talent, I believe, is going to be one of the top priorities for everybody, not only for IMI, because basically the requirement of talents is complicated right now. There is a lot of competence between the manufacturing to try to keep our key engineers in home. So, but I believe the one of the priorities will be to continue trying to generate our own talents in home, especially because one of the advantages of Mexico is that there is a lot of young people. There is a lot of universities around the main states when we have a lot of manufacturing facilities. So the key point is to continue creating our own talents in home. I believe if everybody more or less be aligned to that, we are going to be very successful as a region, not only as a IMI or another competitor. I believe this is one of the key important aspects. And these talents is not only for us, it's even very important for the vendors of the new machines, because basically everybody is growing with people. the software development is another key important talent that we have to develop here for Mexico, because one of the characteristics of Mexico has been always the quality. So the quality requirements have been increasing. I mean, the line is always upper than the previous year, and the requirement from customer is always more strict, for sure. So technology is very important to continue developing. So, but behind the technology, we have engineers developing new platforms, codes to make the life easier. That together with the people that we are training, I believe we are gonna be very successful.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. And I think the point you make that's really important is, as you're transforming, you need to be the educator, and the rest of the industry needs to be the educators. You can't rely on other companies or universities to educate your people, because you can see where that transition is from their manual skill set to their much more advanced skill set, supporting your robotics, supporting your automation. Oscar, beautiful factory. Thanks for showing us around. Thanks for having you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.